We're off. Laughing his fucking hell, we've always down. We're off.
Can we have makeup over here, please?
This is episode 2. Alan and Marcus, father, son, you know what I some father. Fucking chatting. No rehearse here, there's fuck all rehearse, right? It's just spontaneous. Anyway, as I even said on last video, right, we'll get a bit more into depth on the subject, but as the week's gone by, you know, the feedback, me personally, I've had, which is like three or four comments from people, they like the variety. So, we're going to stick to that format and see how it works out, right? Oh, by the way, which I keep forgetting to say, right? If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like, share the video, share it with anybody you want. Make no difference to us, right? But anyway, one of the subjects we talked about in the last podcast was draft national service conscription. So obviously, I'm not saying because we mentioned it, it's all on anybody's mind, but you know, people were saying to me, well, your international state's doing the same thing then with draft, you know, 18 to 26 year olds. Right, men and women. Well, you know, women now are sitting here, you know what I mean? Go to the front line. So, is it a possibility or what? And why is it all spicing up around the world with this so-called warmongering? What's your opinion, Wat, since we last spoke on it?
It's hard to say, really. I mean, you know, it's, you know, like I say, it seems to be meeting a lot of people lately, seem to be mentioning the issue, so... the thing is, one of the common things that when you start talking to people, what you seem to get is they all seem to come to the conclusion that you know, it's only the minority that start issues such as wars, and obviously what usually happens then is the majority ends up actually fighting it. So I mean, especially with the Ukraine and Russia issue.
Sorry about that.
Especially with the Ukraine and Russia issue at the minute. I mean, I have actually talked to a Russian who lives in the UK about 3-4 months ago, and he seems to have the same view that it's mainly the minorities at the top that seem to be causing a lot of hassle for all the people in general. I've also spoke to Ukraine as well, really nice people, and you know, I would say if you got the same people in the room, both people will probably get on. You know, it's one of those situations.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to say it's your people like your politicians and that at the top who cause a lot of hassle for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's how I actually see it.
Yeah. So with all the rhetoric what's going around then, right? I know since we spoke to it, it comes up like, me and you didn't make them aware of it.
No.
We were just having a conversation.
Yeah.
But now the people are going, oh, this about law, this about drafts, this about conscription.
Yeah.
Right. Not like we sparked the conversation off, it were already happening.
Yes.
We were in that conversation, having the conversation on the last video, weren't we?
Yes.
So all of a sudden it seems to be coming to front, doesn't it, around the world, you know. So I'm thinking like this, I me completely out of my head. But I think someone's going to kick off. If it's not before end of the year, it's definitely next year.
It looks.
That's how I've seen it.
Yeah,
I could be completely out of my trolley.
I mean, if you look at the media and whatever, it looks that way. I don't know really what's actually started the issue off. Obviously, the issue's in Ukraine. From the West side, you're going to say, well, Russia started it, and I can assure you, if you went to the Russian side, they would blame the West.
Oh, I know.
So it's one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
That's politics. What can I say? And I'm afraid to say the minority spoil it for the rest.
Yeah.
But that's just my view.
Yeah. right? We're going to a general election this year, Ewan. Right? What do you think about that then? Election.
What can I say? I don't see it as democratic.
You don't, well, it's not fucking. We've talked about democracy.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist, does it?
No.
So it don't make no difference who gets fucking in. It's the same ball game, innit?
Yeah,
Same agenda.
Yeah, long-term
Yeah.
agendas are got. In my view, it's long-term agendas are exactly the same.
Yeah. So one does it faster than other.
I would actually say this, you know, to sort of prove the point. I think a lot of people would actually relate to this as well. You know, if you look back at certain political manifestos and then you look back and you see what the parties actually did, they remind me. Well, you've heard of the saying, "Promise the earth and deliver you nothing," and it's one of those situations. I can assure you, whatever the parties promise you, they never deliver. Ever deliver.
Well,
Once they get into power,
you don't have to convince me on that. I'm in agreement with
yeah,
you.
once they get into power, that's it. They'll come with some bullshit excuse why they can't actually fulfil what the certain commitments in the manifesto.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time.
You know.
But long-term agenda is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, it's going to be like really because it's the civil servants that operate behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They are the same people.
Yeah.
You may have a different cabinet office when you elect a different party, but it's the same civil servants that are running the show behind the scenes. So why would things actually change?
Fuck all.
You know,
No.
they will turn around and say, well, you know, I don't know, certain politicians in the cabinet would turn around and say, well, we give instructions to certain civil servants to carry out what we actually want to do. But when you look at it, a civil servant will generally act in their own interests as well.
Yeah.
That's what you're up against.
You know.
It's
Everybody acting in their own interest.
act in their own interest.
Right. But
Yeah.
there seems to be agenda at play.
In what?
You know, when I say agenda, it's like it's not just the UK anymore. It's every fucker's following the same sort of narrative, rhetoric. It's like there's been a made-up agenda. They've wrote it down and they share it among the sens because they're all going down the same route at the same time.
You heard about the West? You mean?
Yeah, the West.
Well,
They're all implementing
Right.
the same sort of rules.
well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I take it your point sort of stemming from the fact from these economic forums they have, like the G7 summits and whatever. And one could argue that obviously they've got these plans agreed against, and they're all rolling out the plans. Is that what you're trying to imply?
Yeah, what I'm trying to imply. So you get the narrative with the
Yeah,
tranny movement.
yeah,
It's not like being played here, it's playing right across the West. They all read from the same script, don't they? It's like in the fucking Yabaruni incident in 2020 or whatever it was, 21, whatever it was.
yeah,
They all come out with the same spiel, and it's everything, innit? It's
yeah.
not just economics,
Oh yeah.
it's everything. They're all following like somebody's wrote them a fucking script, you know what I mean? And they're all like reading from it, and they're
Maybe
and
so.
when
Yeah.
you listen, you go, "Wow!"
Yeah, maybe so. I see what you're saying there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I say, if you turn the news on, different news channels all over the world, it's the similar sort of.
It's the same shit.
It's the same stuff that comes out. Yeah.
Same, exactly the same.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean by there's a gender at play.
Well, maybe so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
can't. I mean, this is me personally. I can't say anything else than that's what's happening. You're all being played.
Maybe, but I think to some degree it's always happened.
Yeah,
It's always happened.
yeah.
You know. So,
Yeah, but not on the scale where we all follow suit. You know, each nation, well, Western nations, we're sort of like we're in lockstep with one another. It's always like all being pre-planned,
Yeah.
and right, you don't veer off the script. This is the script for you all, if you know what I mean. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Like you say, it depends what the outcomes actually. You'd have to see what well. They're only going to work in conjunction with each other if they've got a common outcome. There would be no other reason to do it otherwise. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I suppose there is an outcome. Whatever that outcome is, they know. I mean, one can sort of speculate and guess what it may or may not be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. There seems to be an agenda to produce a certain outcome, whatever that outcome actually is.
Yeah. Whatever it is they're looking for.
Yeah, whatever it is they're looking for.
What reactions? Are they looking for reactions from people?
Don't know. You tell me. I mean, we've heard of the term divide and conquer for controlling issues. Yeah, fine.
And that's always been an issue, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, you just set each other against everybody else.
Well, exactly.
It keeps everybody in control.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, it's a bit like in the lockdowns and this that and the other, where the people were saying, well, if you see people do this, ring this number, it's like the Stasi tactic in East Germany scenario, getting people to report on the neighbours. It's terrible, honestly terrible.
Yeah.
But people do it.
Yeah, but they do.
People do it,
It's a fact.
and they're actually doing it to their own.
Yeah.
If you're asking me.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on then. What are you into chicken disease then? Bird flu, eh?
Well, the thing is, they're trying to register everything, absolutely everything. I mean, people will say, "Oh, well, meat's no good for you." And I know, slight one, of course, here. Meat's no good for you, this, that, and the other. Yeah, of course, no good for you. It's banging that many hormones, this, that, and the other. But obviously, in its natural state, it is. The thing with registrations and this, that, and the other, what's going to happen then? They've got to, if you've got to register these birds, have these birds then got to be injected with these hormones? Do you know where I'm going there?
Yeah.
Everything's
No,
got to be
I definitely agree.
regulated. Absolutely everything. And then you can't buy it, it's like, we talked about it the other day. Let's just say farmers become regulated and you get like a cabbage or cauliflower, things like that. Has it got to be an approved cabbage or cauliflower before you actually eat it? Are we going down that line where everything's got to be regulated to such an extent that you can't buy that unless it's I can't think of a body what you could call farmers like you got like ETAS, what we used to be.
National Farmers Union.
Yeah, National Farmers Union approved cabbage. Is it that?
Well,
Is that where you're going down?
Rural affairs and all that.
Yeah, is it that? Well, funny enough, you got DEFRA there, haven't you? But
Yeah.
is that the?
Well, they're in charge of the environment.
So let's say you hear something on an allotment, whether it's a sort of a cauliflower or a chicken, then you can't pass it on to somebody else to consume unless it's all being registered.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah. What you're saying, right? I'm taking on board what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm no way am I disagreeing because I think you've hit the nail on the head, and I think that is where we're going. yeah.
We talked about it.
You can't sell that to the public. That carrot. Why? Well, you haven't registered it.
It's not an approved registered carrot.
No approved registered carrot.
Yeah, it's not registered. It's not registered.
Yeah.
Not being approved or signed off. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, we were talking the other day, if you remember, about farmers. You know what? We know a lot of farmers because we deal with a lot of farmers with what we actually do. And they are talented people because obviously the experience is passed down from generation to generation.
Hard working. Yeah.
Well, one or two farmers have actually mentioned that they're being forced, or the next generation seems to be forced, more into the education side. There's no wrong with education, but what I'm saying is it's more corporate way of farming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
because you were saying the other day, right? It's like the skills pass from one generation to the next on the farm.
Yeah.
It's like, forget all that. Well, we've been doing it 1,000 years. No, forget all that.
Yeah, do it this way.
You do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, makes sense.
don't do it this way. It's like having this, having a set of regulations you've got to actually conform to.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't spray the crop with this or you don't spray it with that, it's sort of frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, exactly what you mean.
it's bonkers, really.
Yeah.
It is really.
Fucking silly nonsense.
It
isn't
is, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but they're shoving us down it, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's like I say, everything's sort
They
of.
always use that, don't they? When any argument, anything they think of, right? Whether it's farming or whether it's this, they always use the sort of like, you know, the health. They sort of like use that for everything now, don't they? You know what I mean?
I'm not saying
Health benefits.
yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't exercise health and safety,
No.
but some of these codes of practices are very extreme.
Yeah.
And really, to that extreme, that small businesses can't really conform to it. So then they drop out the market, and the bigger concerns end up dominating the market.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, farmers have been farming for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Don't tell a farmer how to grow a spud. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for thousands
exactly,
of years.
that's what they've been told,
But
though, isn't it?
what they're saying is, no, you can't do that, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do other.
Yeah.
And if you don't follow these codes of practice, you'll be struck off.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's where it's going.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Move on a bit. Because a little subject's come up a couple of times. Right. Me and you talked about it. Me and you and Len the other day. You know, thought. Thinking.
Yeah.
Thought. Right. You know my views on it. I've had these views for a long time. How do you see what do you think it is?
It's hard to pin down, really.
You know, just a fucking an argument or a debate or a discussion in your own fruitcake.
Well, yeah, in that sort of sense, yeah, you could always argue that point. From a 5th century perception point of view,
You know?
yeah, then obviously you create your own reality.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, you live with your. I'm going to say you live with yourself 24/7.
You know.
You know what I mean? So you've got your own realities.
And I brought that up for one reason, right? Well, you know I've always thought that this way, right? Well, I keep put that, I told you yesterday, I keep put that podcast up where he became aware of his own thoughts, which I told you that, well, you know that's fact, because I've explained it many times over the years. that happened to me way before, you know. I was just sat in the kitchen having a thought, oh, this or that were coming into the head. You know how he does,
Yeah.
this mind thing. And all of a sudden, something other than the thought made me aware of it. And I went, wow, I'm aware, I'm thinking. I can't explain it any other way.
I know what you mean. It's hard to describe what you're saying, but I know exactly what you mean. Some things actually happen. It's a form of awakening. Well, people obviously do it all the time. They may not be fully aware. Good typical example, which we mentioned before, is automatic pilot when you're driving a car.
Yeah.
You're obviously thinking of something between A and B, but you don't know how you got.
You
between
don't
A and
know
B.
how you got there.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. People do it all the time. And people obviously, which makes me laugh, is they can sort of act out a scenario of an event that's never happened because they let the imagination sort of run wild.
Yeah, I think, you know, this big issue about, everybody talks about it these days, don't they? Depression.
Well, people argue with themselves in effect because
Yeah.
it's like saying, well,
I can't agree more.
yeah, an example is, some people might actually be able to relate to this. You've gone to it, you go back and whatever, and then you're running through certain scenarios. That you might be having a discussion with mates at the pub or whatever, and then obviously you're talking of a scenario, and it's like he said, she said, he said, and if he says this to me and I say that to him, he's going to do this, and they're playing out a scenario in their head that's not actually occurred. Next way, and they go to work, it doesn't even come about.
Yeah.
But they've gone through this process of,
Yeah.
of a little bit of theatre, playing a bit of theatre
Theatre,
in
good
their
way,
own
yeah.
head.
That's a good way.
But
of doing it.
people do it all the time.
Yeah.
And, some of it might, listen, I'm not knocking it, because some of it may be pure stress relief. It might be beneficial for people to do that. I'm not knocking, I've probably done it myself. How many people have talked to themselves?
Oh, everybody.
Everybody's talked to themselves.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're
I mean,
doing
when
when
I
you're
look in the
thinking,
mirror
eh?
every day, I just think, who's that good-looking chap? You know what I mean? But I will say this. Yeah,
Come on, kid.
it's true though, isn't it? But I will say this. I tell you what I really like about, when I have these conversations, I always think of these words, charming, good-looking, sophisticated. But that's enough about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, people.
Clapping it. Right. I'm fucking joking. No. But, yeah. So, they're having this fucking so-called thing in the nuts, aren't they?
Yeah.
And all the thoughts is they're having this discussion with themselves. Right? There's no fucker else in your head, is there? Isn't there? That you, yeah. That being that person, isn't it? And like they're creating it, aren't they? So
It's true.
are they creating their own depression then?
Well, one could say, look at it through that point of view. Then yes, you create your own depression. You know what? I've always said this. I've said this a few times. I'm like this, me. In my work clothes, I'm quite comfortable in my work clothes. I'm just one of those people that seems to be quite comfortable in my work clothes. And there's many times I've sort of been out with people and say, "Oh, what you dress like that for? What do you think people are going to think when you do this and this?" I'm saying, well, no, that's what you think people think.
Yeah.
They may not be thinking anything.
No.
You know what I mean? So you're actually projecting
What you think they're thinking.
their thinking.
And it's impossible.
And it's impossible. It's impossible to view what people think in their own other
Exactly.
people's minds. But what I'm saying is, can you see how you sort of create your own
Yeah.
scenario and reality?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happens all the time.
That's a good point, that, Matt.
It does
Right.
happen all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think other people are thinking?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, do you? And
No.
they go, yeah, don't they? I go, whack hell.
yeah.
They know what they're
Well,
thinking.
when people have said
It's telepathic.
when people have said that to me, they say, "Well, what do you think? Other people think this and this and this about you." I'm thinking, no, that's what you think.
Yeah.
Other people think this about me with the way I'm actually dressed. If I go out somewhere,
No.
I mean, I'm not saying I should go to a restaurant like this, but I could quite easily walk into a restaurant like this in my work gear. It makes no difference to me.
No.
I'm not suggesting to anybody that they should do
We should
that.
do that.
I'm just saying it does not bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, I do go tidy.
Yeah.
I mean, good-looking chap like me as well. I go tidy. But what I'm saying is, it would not bother me, right, if I go like this, because I don't say this to myself. I don't say that other people are thinking this about me.
No.
You know what I mean? It doesn't even come into my head.
Now, I understand exactly what you just said there. Well, the statement you had made earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're correct with that statement as well. Other people think, don't they?
Yeah,
for
they do.
others.
Yeah, other people think for others.
What do you think people think here? Oh, I got fucking clue.
We talked this morning, right? Blokes may talk about religion, politics and money.
Yeah.
We may talk about general gossip,
Yeah.
right? But that's what gossip actually is. It's working on lots of assumptions of what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
If you listen to the conversation,
Yeah.
that's it seems to be a common theme. You know, that's gossip.
Gossip, you know.
Gossip's just based on a lots of assumptions, not even true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She said, he said. How do you know?
We don't, do you?
You don't.
We don't.
You know, so that's how I see it.
It's just making assumptions.
Yeah, might be right, might be wrong.
You know.
Or might be both, right and wrong. I don't know.
It's somewhere in the middle, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You know what?
Right, I'm going to end
Hold
it here
on,
now.
hold on. Hello?
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't, love. Can I take a message? Alright, love. Okay, bye.
Turned it off.
Yeah, we're just President Biden on the phone, that's all. Tell him to ring back later. Get here. Yeah.
Well, you know, you're bound to get interruptions when you do this
Yeah.
in the office sort
Yeah.
of thing. Right, we're getting up. Fucking hell, we got 25 minutes.
Mind you, I
mate.
did that once, you know, in a customer's house, to tell you.
What?
It was called Mr. Johnson. Got this phone call, right? Anyway, I answered his phone call. It says, is Mr. Johnson? I said, no, Boris is not in it, minute. Right? I said, Boris is not in it, minute. Anyway, brother to bloke I was working for, he starts laughing.
Yeah.
And kid didn't understand because obviously he's obviously from abroad.
Right.
I said, can you ring back in about 20 minutes? He's in Parliament. Do you know what I mean? And he said, who do I ask for? I said, Boris Johnson. When you ring back, just ask for Boris Johnson. He said, all right, thank you. He says, thank you very much, put phone down. Honestly, King was in absolute tears. You know, absolute tears he was.
Anyway, 26, we don't want to go out and talk, do we? We don't want to bore them. But I think they'll enjoy the video. I don't know yet. We'll have to play it back and have a look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it's off the cuff, innit?
Yeah,
we just
it's off the
sit
cuff, yeah.
down now, have
Yeah.
a fucking chin wag,
Yeah.
which we do most days anyway, don't we?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Not videoing it. We just have a chin wag about it all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's before we end though. Aren't people strange? You know what I mean? When you run them out, current affairs, this, that, and the other, and you start laughing, they go, "It's not to laugh about."
No, you know what?
I find that really strange. I think, fucking hell, it's all a joke.
Tell you what it is. I do this. You know, when people, the thing is what you see, when I listen to people and people are going on, because I did it to you the other day, can you remember? When you were talking and I burst out laughing.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm laughing at, I'm just
No.
laughing at the fact that you're going through this role scenario. and it's that funny. You know, if I find something funny, I will laugh. I'm not laughing at the person, I'm just laughing at the way they're expressing it. Yeah. 'Cause
Right.
I don't think when people are, they can go over the top with it and they don't realise it. You know what I mean?
Maybe
it becomes,
you know, they may be right when they say to me, "Oh, it's serious. You shouldn't be laughing."
no.
It might be, but I'm not made that way.
no.
I'm made. I think, wow, it's a lot of bullshittery. This, and I start giggling.
Yeah.
It can be about the most serious thing that what they think serious on the planet. To me, but I just go, wow, it's made up cuckoo land, isn't it? It's cuckoo land, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, you just got to put things into context. I mean, at the end of the day, you're only here for an experience, so
That's it.
you know, it's just take it as such.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Right.
You know,
Anyway,
no
we'll
point
end
into a
it.
series
It's
of
getting
stuff.
up nearly half an hour.
Is it?
So, please subscribe, like, and share the videos so we can, by doing that, you know, we're not begging you, you do it or you don't. It just gives you an indication
Yeah.
what sort of following we're having. Right, so it's end of episode 2. So again, I'll leave it to our Marcus to wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Take care.
Alright, however you got it, so be it. God bless you all. Bye.
Love you. Don't love you. I love you,
Twat.
not you.
Twat.
No, points to them.